Okay, so earlier I got really geeked out when we talked about formative assessment, especially feedback and how to give that to students. The other area that I'm going to get really geeked out today, okay, well, there's one more coming, but this next area is on other ways to teach content, to communicate the content besides video, besides our own lectures, okay? We don't need to just transfer the normal way of delivering content through lectures and whiteboarding ourselves to our students. There's other modes of delivering the information. Edpuzzle, I'm going to start with this one actually, because this is probably one that many people are familiar with. Edpuzzle, if you're not familiar with it, is a way to deliver content using videos, and you can embed questions and notes to sort of guide your students and make sure that they are actually completing the videos and getting what they need out of it. You actually even get a score for this, which is super awesome if you want to use it for a grade. Now, the way that I do it, and there may be positives and negatives to it, is that I use a lot of the videos that Edpuzzle already has. Sometimes I upload my own. Trending in science. Sometimes I upload my own, but oftentimes I use the ones that are already out there. So they'll have questions embedded in them, multiple choice, open-ended. The multiple choice ones, they grade themselves. So you can go in and kind of play around, talk to your colleague if you've never used it. Guarantee someone in your department has, and see what they have available. But definitely just try searching what they have. Chances are that video or the topic has already had something created for it. But what I was going to say is, the way that I do Edpuzzles for grading is that you have to get above a 75 in order to get credit. What that means is this is a way to communicate content to students. I want them to receive it. I don't want them just to watch and click randomly and go do something else, because I know I have been guilty of that with some of my online modules. I click play, I go do something, I come back, and then I click play again. I want to know that they are taking it in and processing it. And so I do look at that grade for their questions and how well they did. They need a 75% or higher to get credit or to go on to whatever the next activity is. If they score below that, I consider that not proficient. And they have to email me and get it reset. I will reset it and they will do it again. So it's basically all or nothing. You can do it for all points or no points. You can do it to let them go on to the next assignment, or maybe they need to remediate and do it one more time. Now, I seldom have students score low a second time. If they do, then I'll find something else, because obviously the video and the questions, the Edpuzzle format is not working as a delivery format, but I just wanted to give you guys that option. And so I don't want to show you the scores because it will show students' names, but you'll see if you click on your classes and you click on the different classes over on the side, you'll see the names of the students, what their grade was, and reset. You will have to grade open-ended ones yourself. Now, my favorite open source resource right now, and has been for the last 3 years, is CK12. And I think more teachers need to use this. It started out with science and math as the focus. It has brought in social studies, and I think it's been bringing in, I don't know if it's brought in English. Yep, it's got English as well. It's working on English as well as health, photography, technology. What is cool is this offers virtual textbook. It offers interactives. It offers adaptive practices. You can search directly for a topic. I'm going to go to math because, again, my math is rusty. Binomials. So if I just want something about binomials in all of CK12, I can explore by that. You can actually create your own classroom in here and do all kinds of stuff with it. I tend to just link things into whatever LMS, or in this case, Google Classroom this year, that I'm using. That way students don't have to sign up for multiple accounts. And so they can either read, you can select by grade level, narrow it down, read, video. Now these Flexbook textbooks, there's actual textbooks in here, and you can modify them to suit your needs. Concepts are cool because what it does is it gives you multiple formalities that you can communicate the content. So if they are to multiply binomials by binomials, they can read about it. They can watch videos. They can practice. Okay, and there's 3 more videos. And the cool thing with the reading is that it's very user-friendly in the sense that it's front-loaded. The important stuff is at the top, kind of. It's got nice sections. And if there's something that they come across that they don't know, polynomials, it's talking about binomials are 2-term polynomials. I don't remember what that is. If it's blue, that means there's more information on it and they can highlight it. It's awesome. And so now it takes me to polynomials. It also has questions at the bottom and there's worksheets. If you're a science person, you can explore what they have, these things called simulations. So physics and chemistry people, they have simulations. They have worksheets that go with them. They have these things called adaptive practices. Adaptive practices are based on a reading. And so what they do is they will keep asking you questions. It all kind of changes based on the answer. So if you keep getting certain ones wrong, then it will start loading you up on those particular types of questions. And you have to get 10 correct to complete your first goal. The way that I use these is it's all or nothing again. Okay, after a reading, they do an adaptive practice and they keep doing it until they get 100%, and then they screenshot it and send it to me. And that's sort of my way of knowing that, okay, the content was delivered, it was received. Let's see. And so the Plix are like little interactive, not quite simulations, but you can also like drag things around and check things out. And so they have some for trigonometry. Okay, so you can look at Pythagorean Theorem, how the iPad is a Pythagorean Triple. I have no clue what that means, but if you click on it, you can learn all about it while you interact with it and move things around. So CK12, if you're a science or math teacher especially, but also social studies, look into it. Even English, you might want to start looking into it as well. And so here it will tell you, I need to minimize this. I can learn more. It says drag the red point on each screen to find the length of the diagonal. Okay, so I've got to drag it and it will tell me the length. Okay, and so hopefully I start to realize the ratio that it's talking about, the 4:3 ratio. So once I've practiced here and seen how that works, I get challenge questions. Some have more interaction than others for these Plix, but it's a way that students can actively engage. So CK12, try it, pass it on, ask me questions. I heart CK12 like beyond anything else right now, especially the real world applications. I got some of my summative assessments from CK12. So if you're in it, and I'm going to be taken to this Plix again. So let me go through this. If you go into a real life situation, a simulation, this is where I got the heating cooling idea, where they had to actually identify what heating and cooling element they had for their house and identify different energy conversions along the way. So if you have, I don't know, I don't even think I spelled that right. But if you go into real world, it might be too broad of a topic. So let's go back to those binomials. And you find a real world activity. It will kind of connect what you're learning to the real world, and it will ask you to do something with it oftentimes. So, bugs in the system. Find out how polynomials are contributing to bugs in the system. And so they read through here, and then this one doesn't have one, but some of them will have questions at the bottom that will have you explore, like by doing things around your community to learn more about something. So check that out. Insert learning, English people or social studies people, science people, whatever. If you're ever coming across a web page and you're like, ooh, I want to share this with my students, you could, print off a PDF of it or save it as a PDF and have them go in and annotate with Cami and interact with it that way. But insert learning is actually super, super cool too. Insert learning takes a web page. Let's do, I don't want to go political, although you could do CNN. It takes a web page and you can take an article about a black hole, okay? And so you want your students to read this, but you don't just want them to read it, you want them to interact with it. So what you do is it's an extension, insert learning, and you can highlight things, you can insert sticky notes, and you can add a question. So maybe I just want to review, there's a vocab term here. I might want to add a question. Whoopsie. They use the term hypothetical. Well, here's some that they give you if you want to just use one of the ones that they pre-make. Or you can hypothetical mean in this context. And so you can add your own questions to it, okay? There are more options. Usually I just do it with questions, but then you can assign it to students and you can actually print it off as well. So insert learning is great for making text, digital text, more interactive, letting the students interact as that information is being communicated to them. Kahoots, I'm not going to go into right now. The way I like doing Kahoots they're called blind Kahoots. You can always Google it, but it's a way to use Kahoots to introduce a topic. The questions build up. Basically, you're asked a question. You expect students to get it wrong, but then the next few questions kind of scaffold and teach them the concept, and then you ask the question again, and they get it right. And so they learn about content through that method. Khan Academy, many people are familiar with. Videos, questions, readings, etc. And Pear Deck is an add-on for slides. If you are going, you can do this as homework. So you can do this asynchronously or synchronously. I guess I could have put it in the other slides as well, but it's just a nice add-on to help kind of follow along, have students follow along with slides. And of course, everyone probably has their own content-specific digital resources that they can use as well.